So what are people enraged about on the old socials this week? Well, not even this week, but probably for all of time and thousands of years before us. Anti-aging. What started with Kris Jenner last year, probably about this time last year. A lot of celebrities since then have started going under the knife.
Kris Jenner has never not been under the knife.
Yes, this is true. This is true. But she was really transparent about it.
And that's it. That's what was different, right? Because she acknowledged her surgeon.
Absolutely. And I think her going under the knife and being so on display about it was really kind of a cultural catalyst in starting to normalize something that was once thought of as quite an extreme thing to do, and something that was, only kind of sought out by celebrities. And we've recently seen Michelle Pfeiffer emerge. I actually saw a post the other week, and it was under the headline of...
This is the 70-year-old?
Yeah.
Ugh.
She's 67, by the way, but the headline was still... 70 is the new 40.
Oh, get
which again,
in the bin.
She's actually not even 70, and they're putting this pressure on that a 70-year-old should look like this. And there's now a marketing term that's come out called the granny makeover, and it's basically like a full value combo meal of a fucking just refresh. So you can get your neck lifted, you can get your face done, and your eyelids lifted. This is the combo.
There's so much fuck off in that for me, because like the way that that's all packaged up is the obvious thing is like the way that a grandmother naturally looks is now problematic and must be solved via the medium of the fucking value combo.
Absolutely. And that's what a lot of women are commenting on in the comments. It's saying, a grandma should look like a grandma. I don't want my grandmother to look like she's 40. And I mean, clearly it sends a message of kind of disempowerment to women. And when you look at how women's aging is treated versus men's aging, and this is nothing new. We've seen it for a while, but men get distinguished. Their value increases, their earning potential increases. I mean, so does ours, but
I think men are behind us, just like a little bit of a decade behind us. So the Jenners, the Kardashians are now making it overt, and they're like, for years they've been denying that they had anything done. It was like, wasn't this whole joke about, no, I'm just dyeing my eyelashes or some bullshit, and you were like, yeah, you had a BBL, love, and now they're overt about it, but men are now, they're still hiding it, so we've put the same pressure on them, but they're obviously, it's not cool to admit it.
George Clooney had dyed his hair black at one point, and there was just an outrage about it.
Yeah, because
he did look weird. But...
He didn't look like a silver fox anymore.
Exactly.
But I can guarantee you the Kardashians are like one step away from opening some sort of cosmetic surgery clinic.
For men.
Or if anyone, just some smart people on the internet can probably... No, not for men.
Not for men, yeah.
They probably have got shares in some sort of medical clinic now. The Kardashians are the 5 horsewomen of the capitalist apocalypse, in my opinion. They're going wherever they can make $1. And that's probably, they just went, okay, now we have reached it's now culturally okay to say that we have surgery. So let's run at it and just sell this, to as many people as possible. Now
even younger women are getting facelifts. Like we're seeing rumors of Margot Robbie, Emma Stone. They're still in their 30s. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and then it gets so normalized. Because where I felt the conversation was actually moving, it's weird to say this is positive, but in a positive way it wasn't about having it or not having it. And particularly, I know Catherine Ryan was huge on this. It was like, just don't pretend you're fucking not doing it.
Yeah.
And that's why Kris Jenner was so huge, because not only did she acknowledge she was doing it, she said where she's getting it done. Yeah. That was great. And then, a few months later, lo and behold, we've gone back like 400 steps, and now you've said, there's people in their like 30s clearly having work done.
Yeah, because that's the new. It's aspirational. So it's now you're no longer good enough. So you must have all of these things that celebrities are having. Otherwise, you're who even are you, right? And now the weight loss, that's easy to achieve now also. So
yeah, if you've got money, it's just a paycheck away, really. And Denise Richards is another one who's come out really recently, but she's really documented it. I don't think Kris Jenner did it to this degree, but she's actually shown faces of one day post-op and
Mm.
what she looks like, and you can see all the stitches, and I wonder, like, that terrifies me when I see that. It looks super painful.
But then people were applauding to that. Oh, good on her. She's so, she's so transparent around it. Imagine the pressure. That there must be a reason why she's
Right,
done
but
that.
I also think that's a reality check, right? Like, this is like all the other conversations we're having. We don't live in a world where this isn't going to happen. It's going to happen. So I like the reality of it. That's where I am on it. Like, if you're going to do it, say you're doing it. And because there's been so much conversation around, you don't see someone for a couple of weeks, then they go to an event and they look extraordinary. I like this was 6 weeks of my face looked like this. I literally had
Exactly.
stitches in it. I think people should understand it's a major procedure, a major medical procedure.
I just don't think they do, because again, that brings us to the topic of this shit comes at you and it's mimetic, and you at some stage you're just like, oh yeah, we all need it. I will need this in my life just to feel something, because algorithms are exploiting that. And after a while, you're just like, it's so normal, so you feel unnormal if you don't have any procedure done. I have to say that I don't think we are strong enough as people to live and sit with our vulnerabilities. If society tells you that this is the next sexy and the next cool and you must have it, and you see it often enough, that becomes the new norm.
It does, and I wonder what the future will look like, because I think back in the day, or even until recently, something like a facelift would seem inaccessible, but I think what we might start to see is people actually getting, financing plans for things like facelifts.
Fuck off, honestly. I mean,
which is crazy.
Carly, what are we seeing? Is there a pushback on it? When you're looking at it globally, are you seeing that people are pushing back?
Yes, absolutely. There's actually a few influencers out there who are pushing back on this. So Jessica DeFino is one of them. She's a very outspoken critic on modern beauty standards, and she's got 95,000 subscribers. So that just goes to show people are on board with this, to her newsletter called The Unpublishable. And her mission is to challenge basically the global beauty standards industry, confront that narrative that really encourages women to, never age, and stop scrutinizing themselves. Here in Australia, we've got Louisa Dunn. So she's in her mid-50s, and she's actually, she's fucking gorgeous. she's an influencer model, but she's very anti-ageist, about not getting work done. She's kind of a no fashion rules model. And she gained about 1.5 million followers on her account just from starting to document letting her gray hair
oh God, I'm so
grow
here for
out,
that.
because she was just so sick of the touch-ups every couple of weeks. She's kind of like, fuck it, I've got gray hair and it looks great. That's besides the point. It shouldn't matter how it looks, but it's more around feeling like, of course you want to look good, but
yeah. And I think this early on in the conversation around the pushback, it does help that the people at the vanguard of it are proving that you can look great with it. We don't want our brains to work like that, but
exactly.
they do.
Exactly. And we've also seen a lot of female celebrities come out. Kate Winslet, she's always been one to kind of push for
her.
Just feeling good in your own body. She was one of the first to say, don't Photoshop me on the cover of Vogue, for example. Sarah Jessica Parker. And I think as well with celebrities, especially actors, they need to show expression on their face. Like, imagine Claire Danes. Imagine Claire Danes in Homeland.
But Claire Danes now just got ripped to shreds because apparently she was too expressive, because we have all forgotten what a normal face looks like.
100%.
So, Carls, what are you finding broadly anti-aging culture? On the list, off the list, or on the fence? What's your sentiment?
For me, it's on the list.
Feels like we need to do an episode about this.
There's so much to talk about with this. There's just so many layers to it. There's hypocrisy in it as well, really. And I think as women, we fight with that internally. I know I do.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Feminist
I'm a feminist. I'm not meant to, care about this stuff. I'm meant to be empowered. But at the same time, you've been raised in this society that's kind of conditioned you to believe that your value is based on how you look. And I think especially we're seeing a lot of really, women who are really, really beautiful in their younger age, and they get older and they're getting a lot of work done because they've not known what it's been like to not have that kind of pretty privilege.
I agree. I think we're
So-
going to
Oh my
have to do a
God,
full. This
yeah.
isn't a bucket files convo. This is a full ep
I've got
convo.
so many
Yeah.
things to say. Okay.
And that's the Fuck It Files, my friend, shedding light on what women are fucking off all over the world.